p orbitals have a peculiar shape. It has a dumbbell shape. The L value is 1 and the ml values -1, 0 and 1. That means there are 3 possible orientations. Now let's look at the 3 orientations. The first one is the px. The dumbbell shape is present along the x-axis. The lobes are present along the x-axis. And the second one is the py, in which the dumbbell-shaped lobes are present along the y-axis. And the third one is the pz, in which the dumbbell-shaped lobes are present along the z-axis. So these are the 3 orientations of the p orbitals. Let's calculate the nodes in the p orbitals. You know what are nodes, right? Nodes are regions or planes where there is no probability of finding an electron. So the first type of node, radial node, for the 3p orbital can be calculated as n minus L minus 1. That is 3 minus 1 minus 1. N value is 3 for the 3p orbital. L value is 1. Hence, it is only 1. Radial node is only 1. Another formula is n minus 2. So 3 minus 2 is 1. Again, you got the number of radial nodes as 1. The next type is the angular node or the nodal planes, which is given by the L value. L value is 1. Hence, the number of angular nodes or nodal planes also will be equal to 1. Now, let's look at the nodal planes for the px. So, it is the YZ plane. And the chi-square density along this plane is 0. For the py orbital, it is the xz plane. So that is the nodal plane where the chi-square density is 0. And for the pz orbital, it is the xy plane, which is the nodal plane. Now let's see the radial nodes. Radial nodes, so you can see this radial node is actually a radial distance. At a radial distance from the nucleus, you can see chi-square density 0. This is the region where the chi-square density is 0. So such radial nodes also exist in the case of py and also pz. We have a cross section of the p orbital here. You can see the 2 lobes, and there is this circle, dotted circle. It merely represents a radial distance. And these regions, you can see the faded regions. It marks the regions where the chi-square is 0. That is, the probability density is approaching 0. That means you cannot see electron here. Okay, so this is what is known as radial node. The orbitals have L value equal to 2. Therefore, the possible orientations can be found out using ml values -2, -1, 0, 1 and 2. That means 5 orientations are possible. Let's look at the 5 orientations. The first 4 have a double dumbbell shape. So these are the double dumbbell shaped orbitals. The first one is the dxy. The 4 lobes are present in between the x-axis and y-axis. In the case of dxz, the lobes are present in between the x-axis and z-axis. In the case of dyz, the lobes are present in between the y-axis and z-axis. So in the first 3, dxy, dxz and dyz, the lobes are present in between the axis. And in the fourth one, dx square minus y square, the lobes are present along the x-axis and y-axis. So it is present along the x-axis and y-axis. Now the fifth one is a slightly different. There are 2 lobes and a ring at the center.
So the two lobes lie along the z-axis. So these are the 5 orientations of the d orbitals.
Nodes in the d orbitals. Let's calculate the radial and angular nodes for the 3d orbital. Radial node n minus L minus 1 is 3 minus 2 minus 1, since the n value is 3 and the L value is 2. So no radial nodes. The angular node is given by the L value. L value is 2. So there are two angular nodes, or two nodal planes will be there. For the dxy orbital, you can see the xz and yz plane. Xz, this is the xz plane, and the yz plane. YZ plane are the nodal planes. For the dxz, it is the xy and yz plane, and for the dyz, it is the xy and xz plane. But in the case of dx square minus y square, the loops are present along the x-axis and y-axis. So the nodal planes are actually diagonal planes. Okay, diagonal planes, and they pass along the x-axis and y-axis. And for the fifth one, you can see cone shaped, isn't it? Cone shapes. These cone shapes are nodal cones. So in this cone shaped region, the psi square is 0, or the probability of finding the electron is 0. So two nodal cones along the z-axis and xy plane. So these are the various angular nodes for each of these orientations.
We have learned how quantum numbers decides the size, shape and orientation of the various atomic orbitals. Now we have a new word here, degenerate. Degenerate orbitals. These are orbitals having same energy, same n and L values, except for hydrogen. In the case of hydrogen, 2s and 2p, despite having different L value, have the same energy. This is because hydrogen has only a single electron in its atom. Therefore, there is no electron-electron repulsion and there is no shielding effect as well. But for all other atoms, multi-electron systems, it is not so. Okay. For such atoms, you can say that the orbitals like 2px, 2py, 2pz, they are the different orientations of the p orbitals, but belongs to the same energy level, same principal quantum number 2. These are degenerate. Likewise, the 5 orientations of the d orbitals belonging to the third energy level, they all have the same principal quantum number as well as the azimuthal quantum number. These are degenerate. But if you take 2s and 3s, they have the same L value, but the n value is different. 2s belongs to the second energy level and 3s belong to the third energy level. They are not degenerate. So these are the degenerate orbitals, orbitals having same energy.
In today's class, we learned about the shapes of p orbitals and d orbitals. P orbital is dumbbell shaped. D orbital is double dumbbell shaped. We also learned to calculate the number of radial nodes and angular nodes in p and d orbitals. And we also learned about degenerate orbitals. That means orbitals having same energy.